Well, alrighty, guys. Welcome back to another session of backtesting, where I'm going to be backtesting another half month's worth of data. This is episode number 20, I believe, of our backtesting sessions, where I am going from 2022 all the way up to 2026 in one single stretch. If you guys are interested in checking out the rest of these videos, this entire process is going to be recorded and posted on my YouTube. With that being said, now let's drop straight in onto these current stats. Sorry, let me just click some music real quick. All right, and then let's drop in on the current stats. So the last month that we did was November. Came out with 5R in half a month. This is your half month stats. This is your trades per week and shit. And this is where we're at in win and loss and shit like that. So that being said, cool. Let's just drop into on it. So reason why I took an L, I know that I remember this L here. I got it written down, is the ignorance of the universal model. So just stick with the universal model and fucking trade that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we have internal, external going on right here. With this internal, external, we have a daily C2. From this daily C2, I'm looking to trade daily C3 up to the external range, going from range low back up to range high. This is my draw on liquidity. Daily profile does tell me that the 1800 is going open low, and we do have that London reversal. From that London reversal, it pushes us upwards into a very relevant point of interest. This relevant point of interest is where we want to see if price is going to give us a reaction. The reaction that we want to see is just a retracement as the low day. I'm assuming is going to go and hold price up to the upside. If we want to trade up higher, I would like to see this 1 hour gap hold price up to the upside here, and we can see that NQ very relevant high, as the next draw on liquidity is going to be considered that next one over. But in terms of this AMD, accumulation, manipulation, expansion, looking for a retracement back downwards into like this 1 hour gap here for us to then continue up higher. So here would be your retracement. NQ does go down into this gap and disrespecting this gap currently. I would just wait for a 15-minute swing here. Without you in my life, girl, I'm so... Well, this 15 is really closing extremely bearish. Looking like a 930 reversal, honestly, to trade back down lower. Unless this 15-minute goes and reverses price. Well, it doesn't reverse price. So this 15-minute now is telling me that we are failing to manipulate pretty much all of these levels. So I'm looking at this becoming your next draw on liquidity, as 930 did reverse price here. We do take notice that there is an OB after this low has been impacted. So there is reasonings for this high, which is going to be this high here to remain. Let's see if we get like a 15-minute pullback and we could trade lower. So here would be your 15-minute pullback into this 15-minute gap, showing me obvious bearish momentum. NQ is that leading asset where we are not being bullish right now. 930 does reverse price. So my original bias of being bullish has gotten blown out of the water with this 30-minute CISD down to the downside. Now we're reaching up into this 30-minute gap, which should hold price down to the downside. As NQ has created these equal lows, I'm going to be aiming at trying to trade this lower and utilizing this 15-minute swing to trade away from. Now my job is to look for a 3-minute CISD. Do we get this 3-minute CISD here? Not a strong one, not one I can say I trust. Ah, fuck. Fucking A, bro. So now that we tap into this relevant level, I don't really want to initially just jump into YM here. I would much more rather see how it treats this low. Because I can send YM up higher, right? Okay. Looking for a 15-minute swing now. Here's your 15-minute swing on YM. V-shape reversal. 3-minute CISD. accumulation, manipulation, distributing back down to these two lows here. And that should distribute. Boom, that's us. Do I trade that? No, I don't trade at 11:40 on a Friday. But that would be basically the model, so to say, to catch up. After this asset does break that SMT, we see that deeper retracement because of the fact we're going to get that thing here, and then we can trade this. As long as this doesn't reverse price, we can go and trade this back down to break these SMTs that's located down here as well. But I really wouldn't trade it all the way down. I'd more so just trade it up to that 3R mark or 2R mark just for enough, so to say. All right. But other than that, no trades there. It just really went straight to draw, so that's fine. All right, so taking a look here, I am leaning more on the bearish end just based off of this daily C2. This is that daily C2 to the downside is really showing me that this internal external is failing, and now we are rejecting off of this and showing just obvious bearish pressure. So with this obvious bearish pressure, this is like a Friday reversal. We should be able to see Monday go and continue this order flow. We do have it tapping into a relevant level here, and we do have this Asia high a day. With that Asia high a day, we are decoupled though. I will not lie about that, right? So we do have a decoupled market, whereas we can take notice that YM is actually going up to these highs. Very clear YM as well. Actually, we might trade YM up higher as this is a nice open low, high close. We do have clear draws on liquidity for YM to go up higher, and we do have these equal highs that is located above. Versus the difference is that NQ doesn't really have that same type of profile, where NQ kind of just opens straight lower and now looking up higher, right? So the profile is kind of cooked here on NQ, and this low is already swept, so this could be considered protected, and this could just be a deeper retracement for the upwards move because we tapped into this relevant level. Whereas YM is holding that pretty decent fucking push. We do have SMT in between swing formations that's switching, that's telling us that this is the more stronger asset here. We do push us up higher, and we do open up a 1 hour gap. Actually, it's a 30-minute gap, and I'd like to see this 30-minute gap get tapped into. We already have an SMT fill, and the asset setting this SMT or the manipulation here has reversed price and is going up higher. So we do have that 30-minute SMT fill. YM does reach up higher, taps us into this draw on liquidity here, and now it leaves that SMT. So we wouldn't want to jump into anything immediately because that draw has been taken already. I would just wait to see what type of reaction is YM going to give it at this moment. So YM is actually getting a very strong reaction right now off of those highs, and it's validating that SMT that is located at those highs. So with the validation of this SMT that's located here, then that means that NQ could possibly be going lower here. So I would wait for this 15-minute closure, and then we got a 15-minute C2, SMT, and a PSP trading back down lower to the low a day off of a relevant point of interest and in favor of getting us to this low. So I'm going to be looking at this this is a V-shaped reversal where we have that V-shaped reversal get put into play. I'm not going to trade this first CISD here because off of that 15-minute closure, we can take notice that 50% of this OB has already been invalidated. So there really wouldn't be any trade for me here, as this could fail just looking for those highs now. So I'm still looking to be bearish here. Now we have a strength switch, as the asset that set that SMT that was located up here is now sweeping out those highs as well. So with the sweeping of those highs, I would wait for 10 a.m.'s opening price because it's already 9:59, and I'd like to see how 10 a.m. opens. So 10 a.m. is opening up high. We do set this high here with a pretty valid 3-minute CISD. I just don't have a stop location. I wouldn't trade it all the way up to there. So that's kind of difficult to say. And I don't trust these highs here. I'm going to wait for a continuation OB. Honestly, you could trade this on YM, because now that becomes your 10 a.m. ICISD. And yes, it's going to be the stronger asset. I just don't like the way that would want to see YM actually start to expand lower, but NQ is that weaker asset, so I'm gonna wait for NQ just because I really wouldn't want to. I need a 15-minute swing to trade away from, right? This is like a 15-minute C4, bro. Not gonna lie. It'd be easier if I can just trade a C2 and then just trade the C3. That's the easiest option here, right? So we can take notice that we do have this C2 that's forming out right now, and then we can trade the C3 back down to the downside here, as this is actually the closure for the C3. Don't like this wick though. Yeah, not into that wick. And this wick actually, waiting for that wick closure actually saved me. And then now this would be a stronger closure, as this is 11:30 with a full body closure. And now we can trade this to break that SMT, and we can see the correlated CISDs as well. And the fucking phases and price now matches it. So, right, stops goes to break even as we cross this low. Ah, we missed it. Do we get it? Nah, we would have missed it. Yeah, we missed it. It's fine. Cool. So missed that one there. Best option trade. I wouldn't even say anything here. This is just kind of difficult to even get on side with all the way down. This one, I guess you could say, if I had more confidence, I could have traded this. I think I did trade this. No, I didn't trust. Oh, why did I not trust this one? Was because we were. It was just the fact that NQ was the weakest already. So why not just keep trading NQ as the weakest to the leading fucking draw on liquidity versus trying to trade the lagging right now. I mean, obviously it's going range high to range low, but nonetheless, NQ is a lot weaker, and I was more focused on taking NQ as that leading asset because the draws hasn't been hit yet. After the draw has been hit, this is when you start to switch your focus to the lagging asset. And how do we trade the lagging asset? Is just by waiting for that 15-minute swing formation here. Once you get that 15-minute swing, we had that first level 15-minute swing, but why did I not want to take this CISD that's located here? For one, it's not even a CISD, if it even was one. And for two, this wick here shows you bullish intention. So that's why I went and stopped out. When do we do enter is when there was the bearish intention, right? And then honestly, I could have limited filled this and then pull this guy in. And then we could have pulled this like right under the TP. That would have been the next best option. But honestly, I wasn't thinking like that, right? I'm more of a market enter kind of guy. I always market enter. I ain't even gonna lie about that. But yeah, that's basically that there. So break even. Was it a break even? I believe it was a break even, right? So with it being break even there, that's fine. So we do take notice of external, internal type move right now. Looking for it to trade that reversal day back into the range. While NQ is setting a manipulation with this SMT like that. And YM, and the asset that is setting that manipulation, is ripping up higher. So with the reversal here, setting this manipulation to go up to the highs, we can take notice that if the asset setting the SMT is reversing price, then that means the SMT is considered valid. Right now, we are running into a very relevant level. I have a long-term draw on liquidity. This is also a London reversal, New York continuation signature. With this London reversal, we're looking for 6 a.m. to continue. I want to see these gaps here on the 30-minute time frame. Why do I always look for the gaps on the 30-minute as well? Is because the hourly doesn't close yet, right? So of course you're going to do top down, but the gaps most of the time is going to be on the 30 and the 15 because the hourly doesn't close yet. So with this being said, I'm looking for more of a retracement lower first prior to going up higher. And the reasonings for this is because of the fact that we are very wow. So NQ is just consolidating, not really trying to trade anything here on NQ as the profile is kind of chopped, right? So you got to open low, open high, open low. It's like, fuck, you know what I mean? This is a nice open low, clean profile. So my main focus is here on YM. I want to see that opposing run though, because we are making a deeper retracement because we're so high in the range, right? So I do want to take notice for this opposing run to happen. And it'd be best if I don't go straight up right now. Fuck. Realistically speaking, I'm looking for like that 15-minute pull back into the range, into that gap. Come on. Oh, fuck me, man. So NQ is chopped. I'm not trading this shit. That's impossible to trade. Wanted to see that 30-minute gap, 15-minute fill. So here would be like your 15-minute fill here. And a V-shape reversal at 11:30 after all draws has been completed. This is a consolidation. I'm out for the day. You know what I mean? Don't trade that shit. Best case scenario, trying to trade. It's just this here. I'm not trading away from these equal lows here like that. That's just impossible as well. Profile here on NQ became seek and destroy as it was broadening, right? And it broadened, so this was nothing for us. YM, however, had a very nice open low profile, and in the expansion, it was just getting on side with a trade here was damn near fucking impossible, really. Just with that being said, we do have that 15-minute C2. We just don't have a 3-minute CISD. Back upwards. I guess you could say this OB could have been my this could have been my entry right here. Problem with this is all of this becomes low resistance. So it's just like if I was to zoom out to the 1 minute time frame, what do we see at my stop loss is just a bunch of low resistance, and it's not something that I want to participate in, right? I'd much rather just skip out on it, right? And yeah, my draw on liquidity was up here for 2R, and it did get tapped into, but nonetheless, I didn't see it like that. I'm not gonna go and try to make things harder for myself, right? Just trying to make it as easy as possible, which is just when it's obvious, it's fucking obvious, right? When you try to take trades that are not obvious, that's when it's fucking not obvious. We take notice of this daily C2 pressing us upwards right now. My draw on liquidity is going to be considered this high. We are just very heavily decoupled at the moment as YM is ripping up higher and NQ is just like fucking struggling, honestly. Very difficult market within these past couple of days. It's just a lot of accumulation going on. We do have that daily C2. I want to go from range low to range high. That be considers my draw on liquidity. Currently, we are seeing a push down. Again, just decoupled market at the moment, bro. It's kind of ass. Like the way that YM is heading lower, NQ is kind of just fucking around here. It's just like, dog, what are we doing? You know what I mean? I am not really feeling the way that YM is an accumulation like that. It's just not very good profiling going on here. We can see that 930 is reversing price and going upwards. I want to just be sure before jumping in on anything that this high is that we are actually bullish. I'm not like 1,000% sure this why, right? So with this all being said, I'm not just going to jump in on any trade. I'm more so just going to wait for that 15-minute pullback. Here's a 15-minute pullback into the range, into this gap, as we should be able to hold price up to the upside. This is also a 10 a.m. opening low here. Just failing to manipulate now. It's just so high in the range. It's like, fuck, dude. No fucking entries. What the fuck, dude? I don't enter here. It's just nothing, just super. How the fuck am I supposed to trade away from all of this? You know what I mean? There's nothing clear. Like, I need something fucking clear, bro. Like, there's nothing clear here that's telling me to long, right? It's just super messy. I'm looking for a 15-minute C2 now. See if I can get a valid 15-minute swing here. So this would be like your first clear 15-minute swing that you could possibly trade back up higher as it sweeps out some of this accumulation lows like that. And this is also showing you a very V-shaped reversal off of it, where you can trade this back up to those highs that's located to the left of us. So even then, bro, this is just a higher time frame accumulation, which I really wouldn't want to trade in between that anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're fucked, dude. What kind of profile is this? And then 930 just ripped straight up higher. No true entries here all the way up until that draw, unless you entered right out this 30-minute closure, which you're not. You can't trade away from all of this either. You got equal lows and shit. So I don't see it. Sat down on the floor, sat down. I mean some more. I don't see it, bro. Yeah, I really don't see it. So with that being said, there would be just no trades there. We are tapping us into a very relative level now. So I'm looking to trade external, internal, bro. It's like Tuesday is setting that low of week. Honestly, we should be able to go upwards, but just to that draw, if anything, right? Multiple expansion days up to the upside. YM just has no reason to go up higher and is looking like it's losing volume right now. I'm more so looking at trading NQ up higher, as NQ does have these levels here. We do have this 2 a.m. C2 looking like it's swept out here off of that low, expansion up higher. Looking now, oh wait, actually, very deep pullback on YM. So we might be switching strengths as YM is making deeper pullbacks and NQ is staying higher in the range. So with this all being said, we do take notice of these gaps is holding price up to the upside. 1 hour C2s is confirming those gaps. 30-minute pushes as well as this SMT swing low like this. And we do have a 30-minute swing formation. If we get like a valid push upwards, I can trade away from these lows as this is nothing but a manipulation for me to go back up to those highs there. Only if I get a closure above this high would that 3-minute be validated. So right now we are making a move back down to these lows here. I am not allowed to trade anything until these lows are swept and a 15-minute swing is going to be presented away from it. So I'm going to wait for those lows to be swept, and then now that would be your accumulation. Now looking for this to be considered your manipulation with no relevancy down below or reasons to go lower, but all the reasons in the world to go higher. This is your 10 a.m. opening. We have a V-shaped reversal here. If I can get a candle closure above here, then that means that we are going up higher. Let's see if we get it. Fuck. It's not supposed to take 30 minutes to fucking get it though. Genuinely, it's not supposed to take 30 minutes to get on side with this move, bro. This is it's not 36 minutes to get on side with this move, bro. I'd much rather just wait until we get a new setup because that is just not valid to me, honestly. So I would wait for it to see if this 15-minute here is going to give me a 15-minute model. There would be your 15-minute C2. Here would be your V-shaped reversal. It's not a V-shaped reversal if it takes fucking 40 minutes to get a CISD, bro. You know what I mean? And this would be considered your entry. Oh, it's a holiday. Yeah, it's a holiday. My bad. So this whole thing was a holiday. Oh, shit. It's Thanksgiving. My bad. Go to next day's open. This is Black Friday. Next day's open. This would be considered Monday. So with this being considered that Monday, we can take notice that we are reversing heavily away from these equal highs. Not exactly something that you want to see. We are trading internal, external though, or just extreme bearish day right now. Universal model is reading internal, external. However, we can see that there is a slowing in by press downwards. I don't like the way that we're trading away from these equal highs. So I think that this is just a retracement to go back up higher. We do have a London low of day where we are pressing us back upwards. I can see this new week opening gap getting filled, and that first push right here off of market open does go and confirm that bias where this is a very relevant level. So not something that I want to just jump in initially once it gets tapped, right? I'd like to see that failure to manipulate standard where we can go up higher. This is a relevant level as well. It's like just now trying to trade and getting on side with it is going to be the problem. Really couldn't trade away from these equal lows like that. But in terms of profile, I would even say that NQ is a lot cleaner as it does look a lot nicer, right? So for us to take some longs, I would wait for this 15-minute gap to be open so that way I could just get a 15-minute swing to trade away from. So right now you can see that there is your 15-minute swing formation. There's your 15-minute C2. We have the PSP. I'm gonna trade a YM up higher because the PSP is showing the strength is switching into YM. We are decoupled though in a decoupled nature where I would think that YM should go. Oh, fuck. So full reversal here. I think I'm just gonna walk. I had the wrong bias. Daily profile was not bullish. I mean, daily profile was bullish, but I just thought that I was assuming that we were going up to this level here, you know what I mean? Because we still didn't put in a wick on the daily candle, but there is SMT there, and NQ does reverse price. I wasn't reading as NQ is reversing price. I'm seeing this 15-minute C2 PSP inside the gap, and that's showing me that YM with the V-shape reversal as well, with the 10 a.m. ICISD pressing me up 15 out of a gap. 930 confirms it. Equal highs with the current high a day. Just, you know, fuck. Chopped up there. We lost there. Took an L. Fuck, dude. Not doing so good in this session, not gonna lie. So taking a look, we're just getting chopped up now. I mean, I would assume that we're going down lower, right? Just super bearish candles now. I'm not really trying to go and fight it. Just just stick with the bearishness. London reversal pushing us down, internal, external, where we do want to go and trade lower from this OB, and we are trading a 6 a.m. C2 or C3, pressing us down, opening up of these gaps that we want to see hold for price to go down lower. We do take notice that we are running into the current low of day. YM is a lot weaker than NQ is. However, YM is also at the lowest point of this price leg, which means that it may be hard for us to get on side. We can see that price does just rip straight there, as there is SMT fill. Problem with this is I don't really trade at lowest points of days like this. I don't have a protected high that I can trade away from. With that being said, I would wait now to see if I can get like a 15-minute pullback, because I do have further draw on liquidity here on NQ, whereas now NQ is showing a lot of the weakness within this day. So I'll be looking for a 15-minute pullback into the range here, and that would be like a 10 a.m. opening up high, setting the high of this wick like that with a 10 a.m. ICISD with the closure through. Very strong, but I don't like to trade at the lowest points of days, and that's kind of the biggest reasons right there, right? Is waiting for that new 15-minute model to trade down to the lowest point of day, which this is going to be considered your 15-minute C2. There is like SMTs at all of these highs, whatever, and now we can take notice the asset that is setting that SMT has some downwards pressure added to it. I'd wait for the 3-minute CISD here, which this would be your 3-minute CISD with a very strong closure as well. That's showing me the intentions for price to go down lower. I'd put my stops here because that is also your 15-minute ICISD, as that 1045 candle does open up high and it does go in low close. And now I'm trading that 15-minute C2, entering before the C2's closure, because you can already see that it is going to trade as a C2. And there's only 3 minutes left, so I'm going to trade this here as that 15-minute ICISD like that, and then we can get tapped in, or we tapped in, and trading that 15-minute C3 straight to TP, right? And that's just what it is just waiting for that 15-minute C2, 15-minute C3, and trading that 15-minute C4 expansion to that next draw on liquidity, which is all of these lows. That's all next to each other like that. And that's your 2R there. Failing to manipulate this low, going to the next one, daily profile, open, high, low, close, 15-minute C2, SMT in between these highs that's located like this and this, showing me intent as well when the asset that sets the manipulation is reversing price. We did avoid this first loss. Why? Because this is shorting at the lowest point of the day, barely even CISD'd either. So there really isn't any trade there. We can take notice that this new one here would actually been a good entry like this. I just entered it prematurely because you can take notice of this sometimes before this new candles open. We just rip straight through it, right? So with that being said, I just waited, or I just entered prematurely and just called it a day there. With that being said, that's basically that trade, and cool. So taking a look here on the daily time frame, we do make a push upwards, trading external of the range now, anticipating for a different phase in price. Why? Because external, internal, there is SMT that's located like this. There is a gap that is located above us with equal highs now. With that being said, there is reasoning for us to go up higher, looking like a New York reversal, internal, external retracement though. However, so there is reasonings for us to go down lower, just going like this. And the 6 a.m. candle really showing us bearish momentum down to the downside. We do take notice of the 8 a.m. C2 looking to trade 10 or 9 a.m. C3. We are impacting this relevant level, so we can anticipate for that different phase in price. The different phase in price is that retracement back up higher. We do tap us into this 15-minute gap, trading away from a 15-minute C2. Now, because this level has been already impacted, if this explodes lower, we can actually trade this because that different phase in price has already occurred, and we can take notice of the continuation signatures, and that failure to manipulate that low equals lower prices to all of this low resistance liquidity. As the reversal has happened, the retrace into the 15, and you're already trading that 15-minute C3 down to the downside for this model located like that. Damn. So we got ran out there. Let's take notice now and zoom back out to see what is going on here. I thought we were trading a C2 into C3. Obviously not. And we may be looking very bullish here. Or just accumulating. That looked very fucking clean. I don't know why that would run. Why that would turn into a piece of shit, honestly. Daily candle open high. Why did this turn into a piece of shit? Yeah. I don't know why this turned into like absolute ass. Not gonna lie. The whole morning just turned into a barcode. Just remind me of quicksand. Powell speaking in the afternoon probably. But yeah, just turned into absolute ass and just accumulated. Previous day didn't even expand that crazily. Oh, yeah. So the reason why it turned into ass as well is just because we do run into a relevant level where you can anticipate that different phase in price on that daily time frame. So that's going to send the entire day into an accumulation or reversal. Don't really know how to react there, my friends. But yeah, that's basically it. So didn't do too well there on that session. Fuck. So still 5R. Came out with 2 losses, 1 break even in this entire session. So not entirely the best. It's kind of getting chopped up. Let's go and find out why. I mean, just why is just right here, bro. We was trading for pretty much the entire second half of the month. From the 15th all the way over has been within this range, right? So within this 15 all the way over until pretty much now, we have just been trading in between this range where it's just been up and down, not fully delivering. And the same kind of goes with YM here, whereas the 15th all the way up until here, we started to be more bullish. But nonetheless, just decoupled motion where NQ was just accumulating and YM was pushing still. Just very difficult market for me, not gonna lie. I couldn't get that much good reads in, and then not things that was obvious and I trusted very well anyway. With that being said, I'm gonna go and take a break, and yeah, we'll just call it a session right here. So 2 losses and 1 win within this session, break even session, 5R on the month of November. Not the best month of performance. Hella break evens, but fuck, what can I say, dog? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 win. 5 wins, 6 losses. Still up 5R on the month, but nonetheless, I'm gonna take a break real quick and call it a session. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.